Birdie, you got a birthday coming up here pretty soon, don't you?
Yeah, dude, and I am actually bringing on someone very special. And for all I hear, he's a friend of a friend.
What's going on, guys and gals? Welcome to Good Real Hunting. It's your boy Brad. The Brett Man's right over there. Today we're going to be giving you a spoiler-free review for the movie Longlegs that just dropped. And, this is one that I would say go in as blind as you can. But if you don't care to get a review, you're here. We're not going to spoil it for you. We're going to have a good time. But
We got a good track record.
Yeah, we don't like to spoil shit. But I just, just for what it's worth, I say, go in blind. But if you don't mind, you're in the right place because we're going to talk a little bit about this movie today. Obviously, just dropped today. Oz Perkins, the director, Birdie. I know you have a little fun thing to tell about this guy.
Yeah, because he is the son of the great horror legend that is Anthony Perkins, aka Norman Bates, from the original Psycho and in Psycho 2 and 3 and even 4.
Isn't that nifty, dude? He's coming in to wrote, direct this movie. And of course, like I said, I'm not going to give out too many of the details of the story, but it's basically there's an FBI agent played by Maika Monroe, and she's fallen a serial killer that's played by Nicolas Cage. And it gets, dark and twisted and all kinds. Yeah, I know. It's crazy, right? Nicolas Cage is a serial killer.
Just, I think we watched the wrong movie because the Longlegs movie that I was watching has Stacy Keibler in it.
She's got legs.
Legs. Okay, but anyways, no, you were spot on, though.
Yeah, no, that's what it is. Obviously there's twists, there's turns, all kinds of crazy stuff. But in general, dude, I thought, so you guys know, we talk about this all the time, Seven, Silence of the Lambs, True Detective. That's some of my favorite stuff. These dark investigative stories that just go into these dark little rabbit holes, and they're not afraid to hold back. They're not afraid they don't pull their punches and all that other stuff. And, they don't feel like that they have to be anything other than dark as shit. And that's what this movie gave me, Birdie. I was really pumped up all the way throughout. I just felt like I was seeing exactly what I needed to see.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you had the theater experience because I know you have to really watch this. Hopefully, for everyone watching, your crowd is really damn good. Unfortunately, mine was not, but I was still able to manage to put myself into this dark, grimy, eerie world. And amazing job! This movie, I haven't really watched a movie in such a long time that just made me feel just creeped out, and they really didn't even do anything. It's just like this world building and these houses that so many bad things have happened and all that, and it just makes you just feel eerie, gross, dark. And I haven't really honestly felt that way since 7.
Yeah, I was gonna say this to me brought a lot of Sinister vibes to it. To me, it brought me back to Sinister, and it just got this aura of darkness, if you will. It seeps out of the screen, darkness, evilness. Like the whole time you're watching it, you can feel it all just coming out of the screen. And that's like my happy place. I don't know what it is, but that's what I'm obsessed with. I love stuff like that. And
that's your happy place, like in Happy Gilmore.
Exactly. Mine's twisted and dark and demented and shit. I just love sitting there soaking it all in. I just get pumped up when a filmmaker's actually able to pull that off and do it right, like in this movie. And again, this is probably one of the best examples of it since 7, since Sinister and stuff like that. So I love it, man. And a lot of it is obviously the tone itself, but there's the color grading, the dark muted colors, the dark skies that's in this movie throughout. You get, the snow, like all this stuff that just makes you feel uncomfortable. And this is what filmmaking is. This is what, you take the visual aspect of filmmaking and you make your audience feel a certain way. And this is what this movie does perfectly.
Yeah, and you gave a little detail on that, like the cinematography, like the way they shot the camera and following Maika Monroe's character in certain parts of the movie, and just their angles with it really help elevate this dark and eerie atmosphere that they created for themselves. So I just want to give a great nod to that, because again, I know it's in the 2020s, so cinematography should be already a given, but this movie I think goes above and beyond what was asked of them to do, and I felt like they really freaking nailed it.
They did, man. And the soundtrack, the score, I should say, was really good too. It really does a great job of working on this atmosphere here. And you mentioned Maika Monroe. Her character fits perfectly within this world. She does such a great job as being, her character in the movie doesn't have a lot of personality, but she's
Mm-hmm.
authentic and she's really smart. And you can see her going like, really deep thinking about this case 1 minute and a very intense confrontation the next second. And that happens a few times. And it feels real, and, she feels like she's got like a bit of a traumatic past when every time you see her, it's like, she's holding on to something. And it's really the performance that she's able to pull that through, which is one of the reasons I loved it.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people are actually going to complain about Maika Monroe with her being a monotone in this movie. But if you kind of already know Maika Monroe's like pretty much all the movies she's done, like It Follows and The Watcher, that's kind of like her personality really is like that monotone that she gives into her performances. But Brad really just nailed it. There is just like really on your reel, Brad, is where you nailed it. Is that she just has this presence about her. It's just like you can't help but gravitate towards her to kind of figure out like what kind of story she is expressing with her character. Anything you give that woman, she is going to absolutely nail it, and she absolutely did. And Brad, I know it's time for the freaking main event, dude. I'm gonna let you have it because he's your freaking boy, the man, the myth. Brad, what about our boy Nick Cage? Sorry, Nick motherfucker. Woo! Cage!
Yeah, Cage. Yeah. Woo. Man, what a freaking guy. What a dude. He comes in this movie as and first off, I love the fact that marketing, that you can't even find a picture of this dude, like a real one, of how he was in the movie. Like, I don't know if it showed in the trailers. I never saw the trailer, but I was trying to find images on him for the reel.
The first time you see him, it's the thing they used him in the trailer. If other than that, absolutely not. So, like you said, excellent marketing.
When you're looking at pictures, you could see like his chin and you could see his hands covering his face. That's all I could find online, just briefly on Google. But that's fantastic. The way he was utilizing this movie, fantastic. It takes a while for him to be. He shows up, kind of like the first, couple minutes, but then he's basically just a presence throughout the whole, first half of the movie. The movie allows his work to basically create his character before he's really a big deal, like on screen. And that's what I think is the most effective use in this kind of a storyline, where you got this killer on the loose and you got somebody investigating them. Allow their work to speak for them, make them more than just a person, because once they're introduced and they become a character, then all of their work, it just becomes more human. So I don't know. I like that a lot. I like the fact. And then once he is introduced, man, he doesn't disappoint. A lot of times when the killer is introduced, like, they disappoint a little bit. You're like, oh man, it's something like this. Not the case here, man. He comes in, he's fucking wacko. And I tell you what, I did still see Nicolas Cage sometimes. There was one point, he busted into the song, and I thought maybe it might have been improv. I don't know, probably not. But I was just started to almost chuckle a little bit. That's just me. That's because I'm obsessed with Nick Cage. But in general, I think they made him scary in this thing.
No, dude, they absolutely made him terrifying. Even when he breaks into like a song or two, like, yeah, you can't help but laugh. It's not like a ha ha, that's funny laugh. It's more like a ha ha, like, how am I supposed to react to this? Like, it's like, this is kind of creepy, like that kind of laughing, But yeah, dude, Nick Cage absolutely, I would think, gave one of his maybe top 5 performances of all of the freaking hundreds of movies he's done. I would really put this in his top 5. I feel like he did that great of a job. His mannerisms were spot on. And dude, I gotta give credit to this. Whoever did the makeup effects for Longlegs, give that person a raise. Absolutely phenomenal. Because once you actually get to see Longlegs, yeah, you don't want to be in the dark alley with that person.
No, he's really not, outside of his, his Nicolas Cage, that kind of shines through when he talks. He's hard to recognize. Like, he feels pretty unrecognizable with the way he looks and stuff. So kudos for that, man. I thought that was awesome. He was scary. He was creepy. There was a couple scenes in particular where he was pretty terrifying. Love it.
Dude, yeah. But here's the other thing too. Like, I pretty much got like my main positives down. This ain't a negative for me, but this might be a negative for you. Like, if you are those people that you hate a slow build or a slow movie, just go into this movie expecting that. Okay, but I'm just challenging you because I'm one of those people. I don't like a slow build that often, but when one works, it freaking works. this movie
Yeah.
freaking works with the slow build. Stick with it, because once you get into the third act, it helps you put everything together. Like, it will explain it to you.
You know, I don't think it overstays its welcome either. I think that's a nice thing is it stays pretty it's
Mhm.
under 2 hours. It's broken up into a couple parts, 3 parts, and you know, it works nicely for that. I think it goes by pretty quick for being a slow burn. It is slow. It's effective though. And I'm happy with the way everything panned out, with the way the story went, the direction, everything where everything led. I thought it was unique, creative. I thought overall the writing of this thing was creative.
Mhm.
You know, especially for a story that, or a style of story, I should say, that we've seen many times before. Oz Perkins found a way to make it fresh and put new ideas into it and make it work. And I really was
Mhm.
a fan of how everything turned out.
Dude, same here, man. And the reason I want to throw the slow build thing out there, because unfortunately one of the people in my theater fell asleep. So that's why I was warning you all, because
Well,
even though she was a middle-aged woman, so
you get a
can't harp her for that.
belly full of popcorn, not enough Coke Zero, you
Forget how
know.
dark the movie is. Like, I kind of didn't blame her, but yeah, man, I was just saying, if you love story, if you love how stories develop and how stories come together when that third act hits, Longlegs hits all the marks. A plus 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 plus.
I think so, and it's got some great suspenseful moments in it too. Like from the opening, you know, the first
Mhm.
few different scenes that pop up, very suspenseful, and there's no lackage of suspense in this thing.
Yeah, you're definitely going to get some oh shit moments. So, like, expect for the real horror awards for some oh shit moments to arrive on some categories. Or hell, really, Longlegs, expect this one to be on a lot of nominees lists for the real horror awards coming up next year, man. So, and I understand, like, we're pretty much, this is going to be a 50-50 movie for a lot of people. Either
Yeah.
you're really going to hate it, or you're going to be like us and you're really going to love it. And so it's just pick your poison, but we do challenge you to give this movie a fair chance, and hopefully you have a better crowd than I did.
So I think this is for me, in a lot of ways, this is the movie I've been waiting on for a while. It's the first time I've seen something this kind of twisted in a minute, and I'm all for it. So I was really happy. It's the best thing I've seen all year. Finally, something that's kind of just a horror movie that's separated itself. Finally, so I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. My first 5 out of 5 of the year. I'm going to jump on it.
Ooh.
I think so. I think so.
Nice. Quick question. Any more room at the table at the Five Club?
There's room if you're good enough.
Oh, thanks, Dennis. Because I'm going to give this sucker movie a 5 out of 5 as well. I'm like with you. Like, a lot of the 4.5 out of 5 movies I gave for horror this year were really solid, but nothing just to get into that 5 realm. Longlegs finally gets into that freaking realm where it just stands on its own. And this, I have a great feeling this will be my #1 horror movie by the end of the year. It did everything that you want a freaking horror movie to do.
It's got a cool name too, Longlegs. I mean, that's a cool name. It just feels weird. Just the title does. I mean,
I
get out of
know,
here.
man. And like, look at the font. Like, dude, everything is just dark and eerie about it. So, like, we could gush this movie for over more hours, and we haven't even talked spoilers. So maybe we might do a spoiler review. You might never know. So you just
Yeah.
need to check in on the channel. But until then, we're gonna stop here and ask you all. What did you all think about Longlegs? Did you really enjoy this movie? Or are you on the other half of the horror community that really dislikes this movie? If you do, let us know why. Don't just say it sucks. Actually give us reasons why you think it's not as good, because we love different opinions on this channel. Do all of that. Please make it spoiler-free in that comment section down below. Let's get that discussion rolling.
Yeah, and if you want to help us find a good reels, you can do some fun on us all of our socials. They're down there in the description for you to find.
Yeah, absolutely. Until then, Brad, I'm going to go cut the cake.
Yeah.